Good morning, New York. My name is Tess. We are here with Polina, Caitlin, and Christy. Today we decided to explore a different time period that had a huge influence on our lives today. The 90s was a time of grunge fashion, the rise of boy and girl bands, and the start of the internet. Although it was almost 30 years ago, the impacts of innovations are still visible in 2019. Today we'll be discussing pop culture and its impact on society in drastic ways, so I think we should start our conversation with the important news of the 90s.
We can go in order and start off with the collapse of the Soviet Union, which influenced other nations, including the United States. Across the nation, there were dozens of ethnicities, languages, and cultures, many of which were incompatible with each other. Bullying of ethnic minorities by the Russian majority created tensions along the outlying provinces. Additionally, Reagan did not just attack the Soviets with military spending, he also attacked their economy. The United States isolated the Soviets from the rest of the world economy and helped drive oil prices to their lowest levels in decades. Without oil revenue to keep their economy flowing, the Soviet Union began to crumble. Citizens did not have basic clothing or shoes. These economic shortages had the people crying out for a revolution.
That had a severe impact, as there were now 15 separate countries with the ability to govern themselves.
And a scientific advancement was made in 1997 when a sheep was cloned. It was as it demonstrated that the DNA from adult cells can be used to create an entire organism.
It's unfortunate that we can't clone humans yet. I would love for my clone to do the dishes while I go out and have fun.
Yes, cloning was very nice news, but unfortunately we will be moving on to some major news, however very sad and devastating. In 1999, there was a drastic shooting that injured many in the Columbine High School, killing 13, with the shooters killing themselves. Now let's take a moment of silence for all those who suffered in the Columbine shootings. Thank you. This led to the reform of many gun laws, creating things like background checks, which would become a major flashpoint in Colorado politics for the next year and a half. Sadly, we still face struggles today with gun laws. Now, let's move on to some mood-lifting news about technology. Like, in 1998, Google was founded. This was a major turning point in pop culture as well.
Yes, Paulina. After Google was founded in 1998, technology only went uphill. People all over the United States started to make technology a big part of their lives. Google helped expand their knowledge, allowing them to search up whatever they wanted to know. It was also the foundation of online stores like Amazon and the creation of Netflix. The rise of the internet gave people a new platform to share ideas such as music and TV. An example would be how the TV show Friends is still a popular form of entertainment among people of all ages. Sitcoms were more and more popular, creating a special place in our hearts for such characters. Not only this, but SMS text message became even more popular, allowing people to communicate without speaking.
In comparison to the globalization of cell phones, the spread of music could be easily seen nationally. For example, the Backstreet Boys and Spice Girls, still the biggest girl group ever, with 85 million albums worldwide. Spice Girls empowered girls who later would become pop stars of their own, like Katy Perry. But what we should mainly focus on is probably Nirvana. Not only did it inspire a new form of music between underground and mainstream, but aesthetically it spawned grunge fashion, like the Nirvana t-shirt, a yellow logo and a smiley face. Remains a festival favorite among people not born in 1991. Other expressions of grunge would be black boots, like Doc Martens, overalls, windbreakers, jean jackets, leather jackets, and plaid flannels.
Many of these styles are worn today, though.
That's correct. People really like the 90s fashion trends and still maintain them today. I personally love wearing outfits like crop top, jean jacket, ripped jeans, Doc Martens, or overalls with flannels and Doc Martens, etc. Loud leopard prints were popular as well. They were inspired by Spice Girls and other girl bands, which leads to a very powerful movement, girl power.
Well, I'm glad we have all these feminist movements.
Yeah, definitely. Me too.
Trying to achieve equality for women inspire little girls to strive for the best possible lifestyle because they can.
The 90s was a time of innovation, inspiration, and just a major contribution to our modern lives. For example, cell phones and the Spice Girls. Just man, I wish we lived back then, just to see how modern things originated.
Yeah, I would love to live back then. It seems less crazy than today, but good music and fashion taste that I can live with.
Living in the 90s seemed like such an exciting time. I would love to live in the 90s. I feel like it was a big part of our achievements today and would be an amazing experience.
I'd go back in time, but mainly to create a multi-billion-dollar company like Google, but I'd totally name it something else. We learned a lot from examining this decade, but mainly how much it truly affected modern times. It's crazy to think how much of an impact our generation could have just 30 years later, and also how much culture would be forgotten.
I think the culture isn't as forgotten as it seems. I mean, look how much we described in the last 5 minutes. I think I can say for all of us that this decade is truly amazing. Thank you for listening, New York, and have an awesome day.